So with that, I'd like to introduce Saadallah with his speech titled Lessons from Scratch. Scratch, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Manor. So to this message, good evening, everyone. Like any kids, I used to love watching movies. But like most kids, my father used to really push me to reflect from those movies that I was watching and try to extract valuable lessons that I could learn from the major characters. So a lot of movies considerably inspired me and had a tremendous impact on who I became to it. Among my favorite movies were Finding Nemo, The Lion King. I actually have a nice speech about that, so stay tuned. And of course, the Ice Age sequel. In Ice Age, I surely enjoyed all of the adventures of Sid and Manny and Diego and all of those beautiful characters. But the character that I cared about the most was Scrat, the squirrel. He's right here behind me, actually. You see, Scrat may not be the most talkative or adventurous character in the sequel, but he incarnates values that I believe all of us should have, such as determination, talking about creativity, and most importantly, also living a purpose-driven life. And I got to realize the importance of living a purpose-driven life a few years ago when I took the time to reflect on the decisions I've taken during my life and try to understand if I took the right decisions or not. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, because without living a purpose-driven life, I wouldn't have been here today talking in front of you guys. So my objective today is that I'm going to be talking about two main things. First of all, we'll explore together why you want to live a purpose-driven life. And then I'll try to give you some tips to help you setting your goals and telling you how you may want to live such a life. Let me start first with giving you a few arguments about why you may want to live a purpose-driven life. To me, it all boils down to two key things. The first thing is that if you do have a goal and a long-term goal, it gives you intrinsic motivation for each and every action that you take during your life. Now, you won't feel obligated to do anything anymore. Your motivation comes from inside. It's not a coach. It's not a boss. It's not a professor. No one is here to tell you what you want to do, right? So you know that all of each and every step you take during your life are consistent towards your end goal. So now you can be confident that everything you do makes sense. And everything you do will help you to reach your goal, and you won't feel like you're forced to do anything in your life anymore. But the main argument why you may want to live a purpose-driven life is actually something else. And it is, to me, I think, the fact that it helps you to take tough decisions in your life. 3 years ago, I got two main options in front of me to take. I could either pursue a PhD in my field in one of the top universities in the US, here at UT, or I could go ahead with a more entrepreneurial and managerial track because I got an offer in one of the best schools in the world in that field. Now, the way I took my decision was I first evaluated what my long-term goals were. And to me, it was to be able to hopefully raise a family, living in a peaceful environment, and be working in a company that is successful and that allows me to have a decent work-life balance, so I could enjoy not only work but life with the people that I love. Now, it was clear to me that going to a PhD would probably allow me to do that. I would graduate and then go into the industry, and then I'll hopefully find quite a few opportunities for me to pick the right company for me and the right location for me. But on the other hand, the other option for me was this entrepreneurial track, which itself, of course, might be very attractive in terms of financially speaking, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for me because it wasn't consistent with my long-term goals, which were really I was willing to sacrifice money for peacefulness. And I don't believe that entrepreneurship track would allow me to get into that to reach that goal. So to me, it was pretty clear. It's a pretty tough decision, but I was able to make hopefully the right one by looking where I am today and where I want to be in the future. So for me, really, those two are the two main arguments why you want to live a purpose-driven life. Now, all of this is beautiful and nice, and I hope that at least some of you are convinced that this is the right thing to do. But now the real question is, how do you set those goals? How do you live this life, right? And well, today is your lucky day because I have for you 3 tips that hopefully will help you to do that. My first tip is really try to have goals that are focused, but not too detailed. By this, I mean that if your goals are very general, like I want to be happy, well, if you think about it, this defeats the whole purpose because each and every path that comes in front of you in the future, well, will hopefully all lead to this goal. So this will not be very helpful for you to make the right decisions in your life. If, on the contrary, your goal is too detailed, for instance, I want to live in this particular town, have this particular job, be in this particular team, in this particular company, and have this particular salary, be married with a specific person, well, chances are that you are not going to reach this goal, whether you want it or not. So try to be focused, but not too detailed. Otherwise, there is no point, and there's absolutely no road in front of you that will lead you to this goal. In other words, be realistic, but stay ambitious. My second point is try to aim for something that is within your control. And to give you an example, if your goal is to be, for instance, the president of the US, well, that's great, that's beautiful, that's nice, that's very ambitious, but it's probably not within your control. And the problem is that if at some point in your life you've worked for 10, 20, 30 years for this goal, and you believe that, and you reach a point where you feel that this can't happen anymore, well, you would have spent all of those 20, 30, 40 years of your life for nothing. So the best way to optimize for your time during your life is really to set realistic goals that are within your control and that make sure that even if things change around you, you are still master of your destiny. You can still maybe change slightly your goals and having a consistent path throughout your life. My third tip is the way you should set your goal is to look forward and reason backwards. Set, first of all, your long-term goals, your final objective, what you want to be when you're maybe 50, 60, or 70 years old. And then work backward by setting intermediary steps to have clear ideas and have a clear path and know which direction you want to go. This will be very helpful as it's going to give you some milestones to evaluate your performance during your life and know that, yes, I'm indeed making progress, and maybe this will allow you to reevaluate your long-term goals in the future by changing those intermediary this path. My fellow Toastmasters and friends, Scrat should be a real example for me, you, for all of us. He has a clear goal in mind, which is to get to his acorn. It is a very focused goal within his control. And if you watch the movies, you will know how much planning he puts into it. He looked forward and reasoned backwards. The beauty of it is that, and I guess the main reason, the main lesson of the speech and the whole idea of living a purpose-driven life is that this allowed Scrat to live a very exciting and thrilling life. He was able to visit deserted islands. He was able to go to space. He was able to fight against piranhas. He was able to become friends with dinosaurs. And he even was able to find love because of this path that he took and the way he's living his life. So I believe this should be a lesson for all of us. We should live a purpose-driven life, but we should not forget to enjoy each and every moment of it. Thank you.